doing a character explored video on the hero known as Hijinx. Now, unlike the Anthem explored video, this will be formatted in a very different manner, considering that Hijinx actually has her own webcomic through patreon.com by the Missing Worlds Media team. This will be a link I will be leaving in the description below. And for the sake of actually giving you a reason to check out the webcomic, I'm going to be very vague and purposely leave out a lot of information just to give you a reason to go check out their Patreon and consider donating to them. $1 can go a long way, believe it or not. So please, check out their webcomic and help the team raise more funds so they can actually release more pages on their Patreon, as well as use the funds to create different outlets for their company as well. Because, in case you don't know, they do aim to have a little bit more outside of just City of Titans. However, City of Titans is going to be the main central product for the Missing Worlds Media company. So, onto the video. Hijinx, her real name being Emily, I forget her last name, but then we're just going to refer to her as Hijinx throughout the course of this video. She is a hero very similar to that of Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, by way of being a teenage hero who's living by the phrase of, with great power comes great irresponsibility. Yes, I meant irresponsibility. Hijinx has a bit of a bad habit of getting into the worst of situations, and you're probably thinking, well, isn't that every superhero? Well, yes and then no. There are heroes who get into bad situations by way of interfering with them, and then there's people like Hijinx who gets into bad situations by matter of convenience and misunderstanding. Now, the character is mostly meant as comic relief for the most part, which is pretty fun, and I like how she's able to make jokes at herself, as well as she doesn't take herself too seriously. However, she does take her role as a superhero seriously, which is very different. Now, and I should also note that this slideshow is in no particular order. I just arranged it in the way I best see fit for the sake of the video. Now, the first panel I have here is actually something I really like, and that's something I really love to be addressed in most comics, which is the costume creation of a superhero. Now, for the most part, characters are oftentimes depicted as having the brains or intellect or having a friend who tailors a costume for them, but never do we really see makeshift costumes that much, and when we do, they're very short-lived. Hijinx is a character of that nature of wearing a makeshift costume. I like how her friend here actually notes that she doesn't know how to sew and she barely knows how to make her own bed. Something that I actually still to this day have a hard time doing myself. And I love how she reaches into her closet and then pulls out what is a sweater with a jester themed pattern design on it. I think it's a very creative look. It's very clever, and it doesn't have to be something in the way of what Harley Quinn used to look like and where she wore a literal jester's outfit. So I think this is a good callback to a comedic character like Hijinx. Now, one of her first acts of heroism is stopping a pretty generic and cliche purse snatcher. Now, this isn't by way supposed to be anything really significant, other than to introduce her character in the issue 0 of her comic series, as well as establish how do criminals like this purse snatcher here actually think of her. Now, doing her best Batman impression, she does manage to get the drop on the criminal and spook him, only for the guy to find out she's just a kid who looks very ridiculous in a homemade costume. So of course, by nature, a criminal like this would actually just laugh his head off and just find her just completely just noob level, I guess you can say. Now, this is actually where we get to see one of the first showcase things of her power, that being kinetic energy manipulation. Now, in the yellow box, in case you can see it or not, she actually has the ability to manipulate kinetic energy in many ways. In this instance, she actually is able to focus it in the form of a energy punch. Now, by doing this, it actually knocks the criminal out, for good reason, of course. However, I do believe they addressed that she was not trying to do this, but more so just trying to get him, just knock him on the ground. And I think this is actually one showcasing of a possible probability manipulating ability that is very similar to the X-Men character Domino. Now, in the end panel here, we actually do see something that is very similar to what you would probably see in a Spider-Man comic, in where the hero does the hero thing in stopping the bad guy, only for the police to misinterpret it as the hero is the bad guy in the situation. And of course, she's just completely nonchalant towards it, and tries to talk the officer down, and keep him from shooting her. And the next couple panels here, these are just a little couple of art or character showcases regarding Hijinx. And this is just going to be my thoughts and excuse me. This is going to be my thoughts and opinions on the character as a whole. Again, I really enjoy the character's costume. I really love her sweater for the most part, and I really do think that Missing Worlds Media should actually probably, if they really are considering it, maybe try to, I don't know, make that a marketplace item in some way, either in game or even in real life, or both. Have Hijinx's sweater jacket actually be something players can actually obtain. I mean, because I actually really enjoy this look, and I find it very clever. And plus, I think the color scheme actually looks quite well for a character of her caliber. Again, I primarily love Hijinx because the character doesn't take herself too seriously, but she does take her job as a new superhero very seriously, as most should. Now, of course, she's not afraid to just jump into harm's way like this, like most heroes are. And again, I find her also very much akin to characters like Deadpool, just without the guns and the swords and all the violence. She's just a teenage girl with her own set of powers, and she's just trying to make her mark on the superhero landscape. In fact, I actually do see some resemblance, if not personality similarities, with the Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel character from Marvel as well. I know I'm making a lot of Marvel references here, but that's only because I actually do see a lot of certain characters in Hijinx here. Now, again, I will be leaving a link in the description for those who are interested in wanting to read and view this webcomic. Again, you can donate $1 and you'll still actually get exclusive access to seeing pages from this webcomic and enjoy for yourself. I personally recommend it. While I am yet to renew my donation amount for the Patreon as well, I do think you will actually have a good time looking and getting a good look at this character, because personally, I think it's worth the investment and worth the wait. But until then, I'm going to be signing off for now, with more videos to come at a much later date. I wish you all a good day, a good week, and remember, Titans, to answer the call, because in 2018, there's going to be a new city that's going to need saving. Signing off for now.